Look Outreach is underwritten by the generous support of Munter Enterprises. Family owned and operated since 1972, integrity is important, as our family name is on every project. Our word is our bond. Munter Enterprises. Just build it.
Welcome back, everyone. This conversation I'm having with Ben and Steve from Grant's Cottage, we did part one, and I kind of thought we were just going to breeze through the history of Grant's Cottage. And as if you saw that interview, you recognize that it's so rich in history and information, and so ironic, given the fact that, you know, the 18th president, that's a long time ago, and so much of history repeats itself, right? So at any rate, I decided to break it into two parts because there's an event coming up, and I just want to talk about the event. Saturday, August 12th, at 4 p.m., starting at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, right?
Yes.
I should probably introduce my guests again in case you didn't see part one. Sorry about that, guys. It's Steve Betts is a volunteer up at Grant's Cottage, and Ben Kemp, who's on staff. So welcome back, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
Details. Hey, we've got an event coming up that starts about 4 p.m. on Saturday, August 12th. And it's an event to honor all who served in our military. And the event is really quite riveting. Really hats off to you guys for, pun intended, I guess, for putting this event together. Why don't I start with you? Tell me what's going on August the 12th.
Sure. So we have John Quinn. He's with the 77th New York Regimental Balladeers, which is a music troupe. But they also do other productions, and they're going to be coming up and doing a very wonderful interactive production called Johnny Has Gone for a Soldier. They're going to be celebrating citizen soldiers throughout the American wars,
right,
from 1776 to 1976. So they will include reenactors from different time periods. It will include, obviously, music. It will include visual elements, movies, pictures. And of course, there'll be audience participation and sing-alongs. So there's just a wonderful program.
Mm-hmm. You know, think about that. And I want to cycle back on each one of these activities. About 1776, you know, the war where we declared our freedom, all the way through 1976, and I assume that takes us through Vietnam is really what that is. Mm-hmm. And that's my generation. So as you can probably tell here, there will be reenactors there. It is a multimedia presentation. There'll be singing. There'll be audience participation. There'll be film, right? There's video.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
right.
Okay. And storytelling.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And tell us a bit about what kind of stories.
So John Quinn and his group have decades of experience with these type of productions. They're professional performers.
Yes.
And there will be stories, poems, and things that will bring to life these citizen soldiers from these different wars, different periods in American history. And I think it's going to be a truly interactive experience for the audience. And it really relates to Grant Cottage because Grant, of course, was a veteran himself, a member of the Grand Army of the Republic of Civil War veterans, had a great heart for the veterans. So it's really a homecoming for this presentation and really appropriate for appreciation of our armed forces.
Yes, right. You know, Steve, you've mentioned that when you do give the tours, that people are very surprised by some of the concluding stories that you tell them. Give us a brief overview of just one of those.
Well, over the years, Jesse, we tour guides have learned a lot of the background story about what happened when General Grant came to the cottage, finishing his memoirs and dying of cancer, but also of the events that happened afterwards. And one that comes to mind immediately is on August 8th, 1885 in New York City, there was a huge memorial service for General Grant. 1.5 million people lined the streets, a 7-hour procession through the streets. Many dignitaries, hundreds of carriages, but interestingly, not only General Grant but his family was trying to unite the country because in 1885 it was still being torn apart by the war. It was, if you were a black in the South, you could be murdered, you could be lynched by the KKK, and in an attempt to bring the family together, the country together, the family asked 4 Civil War generals to ride in the carriages together, and as a sign of unity, they asked 2 from the North and 2 from the South. General Sherman and Sheridan from the north, and General Simon Buckner and Joe Johnston from the south, who 20 years before were trying to kill each other.
Right.
But as a sign of unity, the family wanted them to ride together, and they willingly did so.
Wow, yeah. I think the phrase that you hear today, across the aisle, right? That gives kind of new meaning to across the aisle, doesn't it? And really, quite honestly, the KKK, and I remember this from my studying history, Grant was threatened that they saw themselves as a patriotic group, and he saw them as terrorists, and was not shy about letting that opinion be known, which put him right in the crosshair of some very, very heavy controversy. So at any rate, getting back to this, bring your family up to Grant's Cottage. It's in Wilton. You shoot north on Route 9, coming right out of Saratoga. You can get off exit 16 and head west. You're going to find it. There are signs you can see where you're going. It's a beautiful drive. The place is absolutely stunning, and it's an opportunity for you and your family to hear stories, watch video, listen to experts talk about the history of our country, and recognize that this is where America was born. Well, I thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you so much.
Really, very informative conversation, and an opportunity for everyone in the community to get up there and see this for themselves. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.
Look Outreach is underwritten by the generous support of Munter Enterprises. Family owned and operated since 1972, integrity is important, as our family name is on every project. Our word is our bond. Munter Enterprises. Just build it.